Hi, this is YouTube Librarian. I'm going to be reading for best technologies for public libraries, policies, programs, and services. I already started reading. We're going to continue without I have to find what page I was on. And then we're going to switch over to the MetaQuest 2. I want to take a look at my YouTube Librarian videos, for example. Um, I'll be doing something called recitation in the beginning, and then afterwards, I might be doing meditation. Meditation is when you sit without speaking, preferably in a Buddhist position close to the ground. Recitation is when you read out loud something from a book. And I think what I did with this particular book is I skipped over to chapter 4, which is virtual reality. And when I make a comment instead of reading, I will try to say, as YouTube librarian, I had the following experience. This Best Technologies for Public Libraries chapter has a 2020 copyright by Christopher James Hooter and Nick Tanzi. According to the Library of Congress subject headings, it's about public libraries, technological innovations, public libraries, information technology, virtual reality library applications. So I'm interested in that right now. And I think the my only criticism so far is I think that the authors like the valid index, even though Wikipedia doesn't include it in its list of virtual reality headsets. I think they also like Nintendo in the way that the Chicago Public Library introduced Nintendo for gaming. Um, but I don't know why they wouldn't bring a PlayStation, which has a VR headset, instead of Nintendo, which doesn't at this time. So I'm a little bit critical, but overall, it's a good survey of um, cell phone based VR headsets, cardboard VR headsets, PC VR headsets, all kinds of headsets. And so I'm basically looking for the section that I finished on. Let's start with policy considerations for virtual reality on page 155. The ability to be immersed in VR allows libraries to expand their roles in many different areas. Just as the physical collection of books and other tangible materials allows library patrons to transport themselves through the mind's eye, the addition of VR allows that eye to expand to an actual visual and audio experience. Before a library can make the technology available to the public, a careful evaluation should take place, asking the following questions. Why does the library need VR? What are the goals of VR in a library? What are the potential limitations, e.g., age, medical conditions? What experiences are appropriate for a library setting? Where will the equipment be set up? What type of programming will take place? These are all relevant questions that need careful consideration when purchasing, designing, and deploying any new technology for public use. Fulfilling the why is a question that is as old as libraries themselves. Why does a library need VR? VR in many respects is similar to reading a book, or listening to music, or listening to an audiobook. When people read, it engages their mind, ignites imagination, or causes insightful thought. When someone listens to music, reviews a movie or television program, or listens to a podcast, they are somehow transported to another place that only their mind can take them. These are all experiences that occur in the mind of the participant. The VR takes that experience and in some ways transitions that mind's eye into a visual and audio experience. It pulls the idea out through the eyes into a fully immersive experience. VR's goal in libraries is to inform, educate, and to inspire all that attempt the experience. The selection criteria of content. Well, there are some good questions. There are many games and experiences that are available from VR programmers and developers, but as librarians do with all types of collections, the experiences need to be carefully curated to conform with the mission of both the library and the goals of the use of VR. These are games and experiences that may not be suitable for a library setting. So a good first step is to reach out to other libraries that have VR technology and ask what software and experiences they have recently utilized for patron engagement and programming. Knowing what experiences are available and have already been tested and approved by other libraries will only be helpful in developing a catalog of age and library appropriate games and experiences and will also drive future programming. As YouTube librarian, I contacted the IT guy at the Librarian after seeing that the Librarian featured in the library design issue of the American Library Association. And the IT guy told me that they use Springboard VR. So I followed up with Springboard VR, and I don't think they did an excellent job of providing a commercial use VR headset at this time. But I did get for like a mere $30 approved to use Rec Room VR and Google Earth VR. I followed up with Rec Room VR and they said no problem. They even gave me some flyers for distribution. And I contacted the legal team at Google Earth VR and they didn't follow up by saying that there is any problem. In fact, two virtual reality arcades in Chicago, both um, on the north side, do offer Google Earth VR to their customers. And the legal team of Google did not have a problem, but it is a PC VR experience, and I don't necessarily want to go that route at this time. So I did get to have an experience after contacting the IT guy at Librarian in exactly this way. I recently went to their website, the Librarian website, and they now have a list of VR content that they offer to their customers. Believe me, that Librarian is a tourist destination worthy experience if they allow you to have access to their portfolio. You should. It may be. You should put it on your uh, calendar for a vacation site because the library has such a unique VR content. It would be worth it to stay at a hotel and have a librarian experience in Homestead, Florida. Now, if you go to their website, you can see what VR content they have available in exactly the way that's being described on page 155 and 156 of the best technologies for public library. As there are with many home electronics, whether they are gaming consoles, tablets, smartphones, and even smart refrigerators, there are video games and other forms of entertainment. But with VR, there are also experience. An experience is defined as something personally encountered, undergone, or lived through. Merriam-Webster, ND. This definition certainly applies to types of games and experiences in VR. There are many traditional games that are similar to video games of the past but have now become immersive, such as saving the world from alien invaders. But other types of VR software do not involve competitions or games. They are engaging experiences that trick the brain into thinking the user is inside another world. This illusion of sight and sound transcends playing a game and becomes an experience. The user is transported to another place, whether walking down the Champs-Élysées in Paris, exploring inside a Picasso painting, or visiting the International Space Station. That is when the potential of VR is unlocked. I myself had a similar experience like that that was described here using YouTube VR earlier today. So what they're saying is that it's an experience versus a game. They're just making a distinction between games and experiences. There are experiences that are not games within the virtual reality um, headset. So with the plethora of games and experiences that are available in Steam VR alone, it is important to make these patron interactions entertaining and educational. Research is always a starting point. Visit sites that review VR software, especially sites that review VR games and experiences. Steam VR will have user ratings, but it is also important to see reviews that are not generated by the sites that also sell the content. Some good resources include, but are not limited to, the following websites: http:// www.digitaltrends.com, http:// www.pcmag.com, http:// virtualrealityreviewer.com, http:// vrgamecritic.com, http:// timesguide.com. I'm giving them credit for getting to those referrals before me. I got to Metacritic for video games. I got to IGN for video games. I got to Game Informer for video games, but I did not get to digitaltrends.com, pcmag.com, virtualrealityreviewer.com, vrgamecritic.com, or timesguide.com at this point. So I'm already a beneficiary of this act of recitation. Unlike standard PC or console games, a rating system does not currently exist for VR games and experiences. When evaluating VR software, whether it be on Steam VR, through Google Expeditions, or any other hardware, consider the American Library Association list of criteria for selecting non-digital content. ALA Office for Intellectual Freedom 2018. The criteria outlined by ALA do not include this type of digital content in its criteria, but taking the spirit of the selection process will be helpful in making sound decisions regarding VR game experience purchases. Here is a list of content criteria for VR gaming that is born of ALA's selection criteria. Is the material compatible with the systems owned by the library? Is the material educational or entertainment based? For what age group is this content appropriate? Child, teen, adult? Is there violence, graphic content? Are there sounds or experiences that may alert, startle, or frighten? Does the material require the participant to be stationary or mobile? Does the material adhere to the mission of the library? Every library will evaluate these criteria differently and make determinations regarding appropriateness for libraries and age groups they are curing for, but having a general set of guidelines will help the library professional make educated decisions regarding the best content. I myself don't work with Steam VR or Google Expeditions. So I might check out Google Expeditions to see what that is. I'm not familiar with what that is. Okay, so that was best technologies for public libraries. And this is the VR logo. It's kind of supposed to suggest a headset. So I just put on a Meta Quest 2. The Meta Quest 2 is the bestseller for VR headsets. It may have sold over 15 million headsets since November 2020 for sure, but if you compare that to PlayStation VR's 5 million estimated headsets sold, you kind of get a understanding of what kind of numbers we're dealing with VR at this time. Until I get additional clarification, this VR headset is clocking in at 15 million, and PlayStation VR is clocking in at 5 million, unless I get new information that from something like Statista, which would suggest that they got better sales figures. So I'm checking out my own YouTube video. I don't have a mic. Let's see if I put on headphones. 1 second, I'll be right back. So on the VR headset, there is in fact a place to plug in. I couldn't hear myself clearly. Yeah, the volume isn't good. It's unplugged. Let's try the Turtle Beach headphone. No, that's not good either. Okay, let's turn off Taylor Swift in the background and put on the Bluetooth headphones. Okay, that's not good enough either. Okay, okay. Okay. All right, so let's do it again. So we're gonna head over to systems. We're gonna Bluetooth the headphones. I mean, Taylor Swift sounded pretty good. Let's see what we can get. So we're gonna pair the Xbox wireless headphones. It doesn't want to pair with the Xbox wireless headphones. It has a Bluetooth. Okay, so that particular video is not good. I didn't have Probably I was supposed to have a mic or something. This is not a Bluetooth thing. Xbox wireless headphones, these ones. I don't know if I have the singing machine anymore. I think I had to get rid of it. But I kept the mic. Oh well. Okay, let's go back and listen to it. Volume is maxed out. Um, so I don't see any problem. It would have to be a problem with the video. Well, with the MetaQuest 2, I didn't have too many problems with the MetaQuest 2, but I did try to buy a 256 gigabyte MetaQuest 2, and after buying it, it didn't work. Mm. So I returned it, and MetaQuest still acknowledges me as a possible user of that second headset. I got my money back. I returned it because it didn't work. And now this particular MetaQuest 2 only has 32 gigabytes of working memory. So instead of getting 256 gigabytes of memory, I ended up with only 36 gigabytes of working memory, which is much less than the other people who have. And that's about it. But because of that, there is some sense in which I might be an owner of two MetaQuest 2s. Like one other one was assigned to me, and I returned it because it didn't work when I bought it. So if we go over here to the account center, and we could just work with that for a little while because you could see possibly not only do I have like a Meta Horizon account and a Facebook Instagram account, but they may be possible at two MetaQuests. No, that's not showing up here. But we can look around. So we're just going to take a look at the system file. Okay, first is systems. In system, the 120 HC refresh rate doesn't mean anything to me yet. But the night display is kind of interesting. You could change your display. So let's turn that on. Ooh, that's going to be hard for me at first. That means I think that it's on the sepia side of the spectrum instead of the blue side of the spectrum. Night display is actually a little bit challenging. Then we have sound. You could mute all notifications. I don't get too many. But the notification sound plays a sound when you receive a new notification. MetaQuest doesn't contact me very often for anything. I don't get too many. But the MetaQuest app is excellent. So you will probably enjoy the MetaQuest experience. In fact, I had a chance to make friends with hundreds of people who I don't socialize too much, but I get to find out what games they're using or experiences. I get to find out who is currently in my friend list. I have like over 200 MetaQuest friends. is currently online accessing their VR headset. In voice commands, which is kind of interesting, um, it says double press the Meta Quest button to use voice commands. You can also say, hey, Facebook. Under camera, like I might want to turn off the red dot when casting or recording. It's a video capture indicator. It doesn't mean that you're taking video of the external environment. It means you're taking video of the internal environment of what you're actually experiencing while playing. Which eye's perspective to capture when recording video. Wow. And then you have an aspect ratio. A little bit too complicated for me. It doesn't mean anything. It simply, on an as needed basis, sometimes it means something to you. And sometimes you don't need it so at this time, so it's not important. I just switched from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Hmm. What would happen if you switched to British English? Would they sound different? No, they don't want me to do that. Okay, but that could be fun to find out whether there's a difference. The time. I actually am having some problems with the time. It's not 4:29 p.m. That's the edit. What time is it right now? Sometimes you have to do this on your stove. No, 30. So I found out it's 11:30 a.m. Not so congratulate me for doing something useful. Just at the time on my own headset. How many people get annoyed when it comes to autocorrection? I certainly do. Then we have a quest link. I haven't gotten to that access PCBR apps with error link or link cable very more. I heard that it exists, but I haven't made it to that. Let's see. So they're saying I would need Windows 10 or 11, a USB port, 8 gigabytes of RAM, memory plus RAM, an Intel i5 4590 with an AMD Ryzen 5 1500X or greater. You do kind of have to pay attention to that. So for example, you can use the NVIDIA Titan X, but not the NVIDIA Titan Z. You can use the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 desktop 6 gigabyte, but not the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 desktop 3 GB. You could use the NVIDIA. I'm kind of waiting out about this, but it's actually really complicated. you can't use the AMD 200, AMD 300, but you can use AMD 400, 500, 5000, 6000. And then you need to download the desktop app, link and link Campbell into PC Windows. And then I still don't know how that shows up in the results. What app you're supposed to use on it. This has to do with probably using Steam to buy games, I'm assuming, or for VR arcades. So that was interesting. The additional information was helpful. And I don't know how that works out, to be honest with you, in terms of the display of the acquired content using PCVR. But I haven't even noticed that. Headset tracking, of course. Cloud backup. Backs up stuff. Software update. I have a lot of files in my system version. A lot of files in my version. Power button. I don't know if I want to auto sleep the headset after 15 seconds. Let's say 5 minutes. There's a pairing code. The health and safety video is cute. You should watch it every once in a while. It's in the About section. Terms of service, report problems, support. Okay, so we changed the time. I made some decisions and learned a little bit of stuff. That's the system. Under physical space, you can change the boundary color. So let's say I want to do yellow. Let's see. Boundary size. I sometimes do use this section because I need to establish a new boundary. Then turn on pass through to see the physical surroundings. I double tap. Show mixed reality objects, see the mixed reality object created in room setup. That's pretty fancy, but congratulations if you get into it. Here's my Wi-Fi connection. I called up Astound by RCN, and I have an astounding $75 bill on a monthly basis I have to pay. And they turned on the Wi-Fi 5G, and that gets the job done. I haven't had any problems with my Wi-Fi. Even when I had a 2.4G Wi-Fi connection, I wasn't having problems. Now we have virtual environments. And this is a nice virtual environment. About like, am I getting into abstractions, for example? Do I want to suggest that I live in a polar village? Because it's actually so cold here. I might as well be in a polar village. We could just change the color of your display theme to light. And sometimes that like revives things a little bit. But you have to restart the headset. I want to restart it. But yeah, that would look good with the, okay, let's restart the headset and see what that looks like. Remember, I would rather be meditating than having a conversation about this. Not a quest review sense of the word. So, whether I failed as an educator by practicing recitation, what's for sure is I failed as a meditator while wearing the VR headset. Oh, that is a revived look. We achieved that. Nice. So how does that look again? It looks good. Now, yes, I did have some problems, but it's not like what is this? I did. I wanted. I will tell you the truth. I wanted to buy a 256 gigabyte Meta Quest so I could download virtual reality porn, and because there was a download option on my VR porn subscription, and I recently went ahead and did that with a Pico G3, and it's safer that way anyway. See, this is a 6.71 gigabytes free of 64 gigabytes, but I only have like 32 gigabytes of working hard drive. And what games do I have? Walkabout Mini Golf, 4.39 gigabytes. Awesome. I mean, it's like there's a bowling alley across the street from me, and it's comparable to going to an actual bowling alley. It's such a good, substantial experience. Forever VR Pool. There's a guy who's like, he's very arrogant about pool. I haven't got into it yet, but I like it as a virtual bar environment. I access it and I go to the Forever VR Cornhole option. Oh, we got Dance Central. Ooh, that would be nice to go back to Dance Central. Forever VR, I didn't know I downloaded it on my hard drive. I have Trip because I might need it, but I have an annual subscription. I have Fit XR, which wants $90, and Supernatural. Supernatural might have kicked me out for the third time, but they produce such a memorable, high value experience that I usually forgive them for it. Then we have Avicii and Vector and 1.71 gigabytes. Meta Horizons World VR Animation Player 1.368 gigabytes. If you look at these file sizes compared to video game file sizes, you would hope that they're also thinking that I could earn $4.39 off of Walkabout Mini Golf, $3.11 off of Forever VR Pool. You know the truth, folks. That is the consumer price point. You know, $4.39, $3.11 for a VR pool, $3.08. You know what's the retail price of VR? It's $55 for a half hour. Yeah, but what is the price that people will pay? 2.67, $2.24. Yeah, that's so. I think this is a video game joke. What I just said. Yeah, because the video game industry like wants $100, $70. They have these 115 gigabyte files, 50 gigabyte files. You might. I thought and think maybe that's how much he wants to sell it at GameStop. So if you take that joke and you apply it to VR, I'm telling you, maybe you could get that kind of money for that experience. If you $1.57 plus $1.25, you could. But that's not fair, is it? Yeah, that's not fair. In fact, I have quite a bit on here. Um, I noticed that I got Beat Saber and a Dance Central back on here. And I have the chance to remove something, but what do I remove? What are they saying? They're saying you have 6.71 gigabytes. All right, maybe we can look around for something. What about phone notifications in VR? Oh, there we go. Let's try that. That's going to be making noises. To go get phone notification, go to your headset settings and then Meta Quest app. It's like phone notifications. so we have to go to the phone. Unfortunately, we can't HTC Vive flow the phone into virtual reality the way you can with an HTC Vive flow. What do we have here? Notifications. I don't get them, but all of that, well, you can turn it off, but it's not a big deal. But I may want to turn on the phone notifications. I got the power. Yeah, that's right. I got the power. But I do like this phone notification feature. And they said to go to the app to do that, so we might do that some other time. Get started with device and app sharing. Oh. Now that's what I call a friendly friends feature. App sharing with other people on this device. Wait, what is that? You can add 3 additional people on this device. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want my wife to do whatever she wants to do without giving, making sure that I can control, put her in a separate category. So, yeah. Let's see. I don't need my vibrator to be it to vibrate so much. The vibration intensity on the controller. Jeez. I can't believe what you're thinking about. So we took a look at movement tracking. I mean, this could be confusing. I don't want to necessarily do hand tracking right now, and it's showing up. Yeah. So that could have been really irritating from a MetaQuest point of view that you had your movement tracking on. Yeah, when you didn't want to use it. Yeah. So that could have been a reoccurring irritation. Here's audio balance. What does that mean? Mono audio, combined channels when playing audio. I don't understand that well enough to have that clicking on. Yeah, this is exactly right. That doesn't mean anything to me. Privacy. I Mike the Librarian unlocked an achievement. Oh yeah. Okay, this is kind of cool. Private, powerful, social connections. You'll receive requests to approve followers. Only your followers can see your following. Um, I guess you get a little bit of privacy. I will do that. Mm, or help improve. I don't want to do that anymore. Too much information. And then you have the health and safety. Code of conduct for virtual experiences. Oh, I don't want to read that. We'll read that some other time. Because this stuff actually affects my behavior, and I don't want it to necessarily do so. Oh, you have an unlocked pattern? Do I? Do you say? Hold on a second. I don't understand that. Okay, we're gonna try that out. Let's see, experimental. This is a pretty cool. Well, what is this? Start a voice command with the hey Facebook wake word. Yeah, let's do that.
Welcome to Voice Commands, where you can use your voice to start parties, open apps, and adjust settings. Oaks, here you can choose if you'd like to store your data to help improve voice commands. You're all set up. To start a voice command, double press the Meta Quest button like this. Go ahead, give it a try. Now let's try out your first command. Just double press and say, take a photo.
Take a photo.
If you're ever unsure what to say, you can ask for a list of commands. When you're ready, double press and ask, what can I say?
What can I say?
Here are some things you can say.
Okie dokie. Alright, so that was fun, my God. There is no evidence here of a separate VR headset, which was like the question that was motivating me. But if you go to the MetaQuest app, they still acknowledge that I tried to buy a 256 gigabyte headset. And it's almost 50 minutes. Let's see if Supernatural kicked me out. Because you can meditate. I haven't exercised recently. I accused them of kicking me out. Yeah. And that's not fair to do that. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. This is a luxury fitness experience. And they did kick me out for some reason. The month went up really quickly. They always do. That's why I'm not paying for an annual plan for 170. That's what I have to keep in mind about the VR porn industry too. I mean, they want 250 for a lifetime membership. Yeah. How do you know if they're not going to kick you out? Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's not like they wouldn't have good intentions. They might. but they might not. Yeah, that's exactly right. You just spent $250. Yeah, so it's supernatural that helped me realize that that's not a good idea. It's better to go with a monthly plan at 19. Yeah, because what if they just I don't mind giving them 250 sometimes, and I shouldn't say that. Yeah, but one company, the first company I worked with, didn't factor in 250, and I did not get a lifetime membership. Yeah, this is exactly right. That's right. They did like 250, and that is a lifetime membership fee for a couple of these for that industry. Yeah, but what happens if you pay 250 in the supernatural sense of the word, and they kick you out anyway? So now you understand it. It's supernatural as a subscription service that I was behaved unethically 3 times, so that I wouldn't get. So I would learn that it's not wise to give someone else 250 for a lifetime membership. They can't even handle 1 month, let alone a year, without kicking someone out at $19 a month. Okay, so I'm actually still into this, but technically it's been half an hour. We kind of reviewed things. It looks good. I kind of want to say thank you very much. Um, Hopefully the audio is better on this.